Hi everyone. This week I've been thinking about being connected with others and how God gives us opportunities to make new connections. Often it's through our need and the needs of others. I've been finding recently that it's been surprisingly easy to chat to people at the park, new people I've never met before, and I've been grateful for that connection. And a couple of weeks ago, we offered a balance bike to someone who had a younger child. It came up just by chatting about our children. It's been lovely to get to know them a bit, and it was interesting to chat very naturally about faith the day we met up to give them the bike. When someone asks me, "What do you do?" Well, faith comes up in conversation pretty easily, being a vicar, but it isn't always the first opener. Sometimes it's the sharing of other things about life, like hearing a story about a religious relative, or in chatting about what we've been doing, or one of the kids mentions something they learnt about faith in school. I wonder if you find encouragement from these kinds of conversations and connections too. Please do share your stories of connection. Still on the theme of connection, this Sunday coincides with Ability Sunday. Livability is a charity that supports churches who value connecting well with people, bringing together people of all abilities and ensuring that they remain connected with their communities no matter what challenges they face. They're committed to enabling people with disabilities to live the life that they want to lead. And they've recently coined a phrase called connectability, which is so important for avoiding isolation. It's about recognizing the abilities in one another. And they offer good practice to help us connect with people who live and work in social care settings in our community. Recently, I connected with the staff at Turning Point in our parish, and thinking through what we could offer them, they said they'd be interested in seeing if any of their residents would like to come along to Outlook for connections over cups of tea. And always we're looking for opportunities to offer a warm welcome. A simple phone call to someone who can't get out can make all the difference. And we've really seen through this pandemic, haven't we? We can also offer to pray over the phone if that's what they would like. We can find connection over seasonal things like caroling, singing carols for people. And sometimes we go to people, sometimes we invite, we welcome and we involve people here. If you fancy giving a donation to the charity, then the website address will come up on the screen for you. This Sunday, we're continuing in our preaching series on transforming lives, looking at Jesus's authority and being a blessing in the world. What does it mean that he gives us his authority? Our first priority this week, which is our monthly prayer meeting, there was a word that was shared about our posture in prayer. Often we're a bit slumped down and we're hunched over. So it's kind of how we've been feeling. And it was felt that God was encouraging us to sit up a bit more. It was about a spiritual posture, not only a physical posture in prayer. Sometimes when we're pressured, we can become rather inward focused. And he was encouraging us to look outward, to hope. Many of us are in need of comfort at the moment. I wonder where you would be on a scale of 1 to 5 in terms of needing comfort right now. But how about on a scale of 1 to 5 about needing challenge? Be worth thinking about those numbers. We need both in different amounts, and that blend changes. I wonder also what your natural tendency is. Do you instinctively comfort others, like strengthening their faith, or being compassionate? Or do you offer challenge that stretches others? It's worth thinking about what we need right now ourselves and being curious about what others need when we encounter them. Some would say that they have very little capacity for challenges right now. But I've also noticed that some people are in a place of welcoming fresh challenges recently. We can't assume that we know. I wonder what we might plan to do in sharing our faith in the Advent Christmas season. Last week, we were thinking about strengthening our faith through Advent resources, which hopefully you've been having a good look around to see what there is before we hit December. Another way to strengthen our faith is to spend time on our front lines sharing faith. Our faith will grow and be strengthened by the joy that comes in those little moments. We also need to make sure that we're being really gentle with one another. The Bible says, "Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near." So let's be extra careful. We're being really gracious and showing loving care and kindness. We're exploring planning for Alpha next year at the moment, and I wonder if there could be someone that you pray for who you could invite to church over Christmas. I remember doing this for a member of my family at Christmas time. We went to a carol service in a church near where they lived, and there was an Alpha course advertised as coming up in the new year. And I said, so that sounds like a good idea to them. And they thought that they would go, and then their faith really took off. The simple first step was finding a service to visit at Christmas in a church that would be good for them. Could you do something so simple for your friends? Give them a personal invite to join you. Many of us will have a story of how God changed our lives in different ways through Alpha. Well, if you have a story like that, then please share it over the coming weeks. You could email it to us, or we could put it in the Facebook group, and we can share it in church. Let's be building one another up in our faith.